Coming up on LCTV News,
hear how early detection for breast cancer is more and more important for women.
I think we'll have a long future together. I really do.
We'll take a look into two unlikely shops in East Dubuque who came together after a tragedy.
And stay tuned for our special coverage of the City Council elections.
All this and more coming up next.
You're watching LCTV News, delivering you Dubuque.
Last week, the Joe Daviess County Sheriff's Department ID'd 6 individuals involved in impersonating a police vehicle.
Investigators say that on October 19th, an unmarked vehicle attempted to pull over drivers on Highway 20 between Menominee and Galena, Illinois. The individuals involved have been identified and do not pose a threat to the community. The Joe Daviess Sheriff's Department offers some advice if you are pulled over by an unmarked police officer. First, ask the police officer for identification. If you are still suspicious, use your cell phone and call 911 and ask them if there's an unmarked police officer in the area. If the person is not an authorized police officer, call 911 immediately. Identify your location and a detailed description of the vehicle.
Before you register your vehicle, you might want to be certain you don't have any outstanding parking tickets. A grand total of over $255,000 has accumulated from unpaid parking fines in the city of Dubuque. In an effort to collect on these outstanding fines, the city now requires that drivers with fines as old as 30 days or more would receive a registration hold on their vehicles.
And the money to write these tickets, we need to do everything to collect as much of it as we can.
The revenue collected from outstanding fines will go towards maintenance on public parking facilities and annual operating budgets. Parking fines can be paid in cash or by credit card at City Hall. Last week, Crescent Community Health Center celebrated their 5th year of opening up for business. What's unique about Crescent Community Health Center is that about 65% of their clientele are either uninsured or underinsured, but they still make sure that every person receives the care that they need.
We provide primary medical and dental care for patients. We take any patients, insured, uninsured, underinsured.
Providing medical care for the uninsured comes with its financial problems. Crescent has been looking for ways to stay afloat while still providing the best care for their patients.
We're able to do that by having some patients have private insurance, so we bill private insurance. We bill Medicare and Medicaid, but sometimes that's still not enough.
Patients say what sets Crescent aside from other health centers is the personal touch.
The staff are incredible. They know your name. The next time you come in, oh, how did this work out? How was your daughter? They remember, you know. If they can put up with me, they'll put up with anybody. And they're friendly to me, and they
The center is trying to make any necessary improvements by going straight to their patients to see what could be better. First on the list is the waiting room.
We just did a patient satisfaction survey, and that's one consistent theme throughout the whole survey was you need a bigger waiting room.
Woodyard says their goals are to try and reach out to more Dubuque residents so that they are aware of what is available for them.
This week in our Health Beat, we take a closer look at one of the leading killers in women, breast cancer. In 2011 alone, about 230,000 women were diagnosed with breast cancer.
You're shocked. It doesn't really hit you until you say that word yourself, that I have cancer.
In these cases, 39,520 deaths have occurred. But what is this horrifying disease that is the second leading killer in women?
Breast cancer is basically when the normal cells in your body lose their regulatory cycle and they start growing out of control. They'll start growing in a little area in the breast, but then they have the potential to spread throughout the body.
The latest technology has made finding breast cancer easier than ever before, especially in its earliest state, ductal carcinoma in situ.
The earliest form of breast cancer is when those cells lose their regulation, but they're still confined into the breast, which means they haven't broken through the actual breast ducts yet to get to a blood supply where they could spread throughout the body.
Breast cancer is being found in women as young as 22. Doctors recommend at the age of 20, women start performing monthly breast examinations to gain an understanding of their bodies. Women should also visit their doctors regularly for mammograms at the age of 40. This will decrease the chances of overlooking this disease and catching it too late.
Once the cancer spreads, it's a very fatal disease. If we catch it early, which is the earliest form, DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ can almost always be cured.
Next week in our Health Beat, we'll be taking a look at why 11 and 12-year-old boys and girls should be routinely vaccinated for HPV.
The floods in East Dubuque this past July brought destruction and despair for many business owners and residents, but 2 small businesses picked themselves back up and created something positive. Reporter Ellen Reese has more.
Splinters Flowers and Gifts and Sutter's Bakery were both flooded out of their locations in downtown East Dubuque this past summer, and the future of their businesses was up in the air. But an idea from Mayor George Young brought these 2 businesses together and back it on track. Cookies, cakes, and a dozen roses. It's a one-stop shop at East Dubuque's Splinters Flowers and Gifts and Sutter's Bakery once they joined forces and opened a shop together.
I thought, why not come in with baked goods and cakes and pies and cookies and give it a try, you know.
They opened up after the major flood in East Dubuque this past summer. Both Fred and Tanya walked into their stores and saw devastation.
I knew in my heart what I was going to walk into. I felt it. I knew it. I was like, this is going to be awful.
It was so surreal because of the fact that you're just like, we're done, you know.
And it took all of me to just turn that knob and open that door, and it was just devastating.
Tanya has been in the flower business for 14 years, and seeing her business underwater was not easy. But thanks to the mayor, soon Tanya's flowers and Fred's cakes would collide. They opened their combined doors on September 28th, and so far have heard a positive response.
Like I said, there's been so many great people that's helped, and I guess that's where, you know, you just be proud to be a part of a community like that.
And it's a partnership neither one of them wants to see end.
She's been a blessing that we just kind of both fell together, and I'm hoping she feels the same. I can't guarantee that, but
yeah, I hope to continue it forever. I mean, if we can make a go of it and continue the support of the community, yeah, I'm all for it.
Reporting for LCTV News, I'm Ellen Reese. Now, Steiner mentioned that before their businesses came together, she seriously considered relocating to either Dubuque or Galena. But it was the support of neighbors and the East Dubuque community that motivated her to reopen her store there instead of moving out of town.
Now, Ellen, it's great to see the people of East Dubuque picking back up the pieces and coming together as a community and thriving. Thank you.
A new video game may actually teach you how to play a guitar without any lessons. Paul Dieter has a story.
Ubisoft is changing the way gamers are rocking out by throwing out the old plastic guitars used in Guitar Hero and Rock Band and replacing them with real ones in their new video game, Rocksmith.
Rocksmith is a new next-gen video game that allows you to learn the guitar without taking the lessons.
The game incorporates all 6 strings of any guitar into playable chords, which the game recognizes, while it teaches the player how to play a real guitar. Because of this, the game has been on everyone's mind.
Our first shipment sold out right away. People were really excited to actually learn to play guitar this time instead of just like learning to play on a little plastic guitar.
Some are criticizing this approach to learning the guitar.
Not opposed to the game approach. Some will pick it up really easy and others won't because they don't got timing or rhythm in their body. And you can't get it by watching a video.
However effective the game may be, I think it's best to come with some prior guitar experience, since it will be hard to pick up the rhythm of the guitar right away.
But that's our society, you know. You can drive up to a restaurant or McDonald's and buy food for 10 people in 5 minutes. And that's that same mentality walks in this room a lot of times with these students.
As someone who's always wanted to learn the guitar, I'm sold. I'm Paul Dieter with LCTV News.
It's amazing to see how responsive that people have been to this game so far.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Rock Band, so I'll have to try this one out and see how they compare.
Well, while you ladies are rocking out, I have some sports coming up for you.
But we have loved and nurtured and protected this farm.
Hear how Field of Dreamers might be seeing some changes.
The roller derby is rolling its way into the streets of Dubuque.
I find inspiration all around me. From those that push me to think and to grow. To move forward, because to stand still is to fall behind. That's not my plan. I'm just getting started. My life is just beginning. My major is inspiration.
I've got Iowa High School playoff highlights coming up, but first there's big news out of Dyersville. Contrary to numerous media outlets, the Field Dreams has not yet been officially sold.
The sale is not complete. We have a signed offer.
Don and Becky Lansing have discussed the offer for the Field of Dreams to Mike and Denise Stillman, but have not yet sold the farm. The Stillmans are the owners of Go the Distance Baseball, an investment company based out of Chicago. The Stillmans' plan is to preserve the site and build a baseball and softball complex.
We have fostered this past year and a half these ideas that the Stillmans have had. We have worked with them in not only consummating the offer that was made, but in many other arenas we have chatted with them about ideas, not only for the field but in life.
Roller Derby is back in Dubuque as the Eastern Iowa Outlaws play host to the Dark River Roller Coalition at the Five Flags Center. The night started with both teams dancing to Michael Jackson's Thriller just in time for Halloween. The Outlaws hit the rink ready to get the lead early from Dark River as Fisher Price gets past his jam to put her team up 9-1. Dark River would struggle in the first half, but Patella Crusher would break her way to rack up points as the scoreboard read 20-3 in favor of the Outlaws. The Outlaws would continue to pound the Dark River as Price once again breaks away from the swarm of roller defenders to keep adding to the Outlaws' already large lead. But before this one's over, the Dark River would show that they are not done, as this Dark River defender will completely take out Diamondback Desiree and then skate away for more points. The Outlaws hang on to this one, however, 153-100. Field of Dreams isn't the only thing in Dyersville making big headlines, as Beckman Catholic High School looked to pull out some tricks and get some treats on Halloween night. The Blazers of Beckman took on the South Winneshiek Warriors in the second round on a brisk night under the lights. Within a blink of the eye, Ty Troutman finds a burst of speed, nice alley, and takes this one 93 yards to the house to give the Blazers an early 7-0 lead. The crowd was getting fired up, and Beckman wanted their fans to be a part of it. Later on in the first quarter, Beckman running back Derek Hammond pounds the ball through Warriors defense for his second score of the game. Blazers lead 20-0. Beckman gets the last score before the half when Troutman jukes the Southwind special teams and takes this punt yard 57 yards for a touchdown, doing his best Devin Hester there. After the 2-point conversion, the Blazers will lead 28-0. Blazers pull away from this one. Beckman on top, 41, South Winneshiek 6. They will play next Monday in the quarterfinals against Cleary and Goldfield. University of Dubuque took on the loser North Saturday at Chalmers Field. The North started strong with this great defensive stop, but on the next play, the Spartans kicker Steve Jones boots it through to make it 3-0. The Spartans score again as Mike Zwiefel catches his first touchdown of the day. A huge run from Connor Scholhorn tallies the score of 24-0. After a quick halftime, Wyatt Hines connects with freshman Pedro Zavala for Spartan score. And how about this one? No one can stop Mike Zwiefel as he earned receptions leader in NCAA history this weekend. Take a seat, Jerry Royce. Again, Hines connects with receiver DeMarcus Fleming for yet another Spartan touchdown. The Spartans go on to win this one 38-0. University of Dubuque plays Coe College on Saturday for the last game of the regular season. For Sports Shorts, I'm Mike Elsnan. Back to you guys.
Coming up,
our exclusive City Council coverage is next.
We'll take an in-depth personal look into each of the candidates running for the Dubuque City Council.
Thank you for staying tuned for our extended political coverage.
Next Tuesday, elections will take place for the Dubuque City Council. There are 5 seats up for grabs, one of which is held by incumbent Carla Bragg, who is running uncontested as 2nd Ward representative. Bragg joined the City Council in November of 2005. Competing for an at-large position are incumbent David Resnick and Marcos Rubenstein, along with George Davis and incumbent Lynn Sutton, running for 4th Ward representative. Last Tuesday night, the League of Women Voters hosted a public forum for the candidates at the City Council chambers. Candidates were on hand to answer various questions about the job market, public and private sectors, and small businesses. Now let's take a closer look at the candidates, starting with Lynn Sutton, who is running against George Davis for 4th Ward seat. Lynn Sutton was appointed to the City Council in March 2011 after the passing of 4th Ward Representative Dirk Voetberg. Sutton's appointment was indeed historic for the city, as she was the first African American appointed to the Dubuque City Council.
I want to run to remain in my seat, but to further what I have started.
Born and raised in Dubuque, Lynn Sutton knows the people she serves as a city council member.
They really see the passion I have for it, the heart I have for it, and it's not just something to do, it's something I truly believe in.
She is running for re-election in the 4th Ward District against George Davis. Sutton believes her focus on the community and safety is what will set her apart.
We need to say no tolerance. No tolerance to mistreating people just because they're different than you, because of their race, their religion, ethnic background.
Sutton currently volunteers at the Multicultural Family Center and the Bridges Out of Poverty program. She is also part of several committees and is the president of the local NAACP chapter.
On the opposing side, 4th Ward candidate George Davis is an active member in the Dubuque Community School District as a board member. He is also a private attorney. Davis believes his knowledge in finances will set him apart from other candidates, as well as his focus on improving sustainability in the Dubuque area.
I had a number of people approach me about running for city council who believed I'd be a good fit to help keep the council moving forward, and so here I am running for city council.
George Davis is no stranger to being active in the Dubuque community, as he has served on the district school board for 2 years. Davis is happy with the way Dubuque is headed, but would like to see more sustainability and increased growth in businesses.
For people that have been here and lived through the last 20 years in Dubuque, Dubuque has had an amazing transformation. And I really don't see many great problems, but what I see are great opportunities.
Davis has a strong background in finances, being an attorney, and hopes to bring what he has learned over the years to the city.
I think my background, my work with the school boards, my financial training and background can be of assistance to the city as we move forward with those initiatives.
Moving on to the at-large candidates, incumbent David Resnick has held one of the at-large positions since November of 2007. Resnick has been involved in a wide range of community organizations, including the Dubuque Arts Council, the Dubuque Chamber of Commerce, and many more.
Out of Davenport, Iowa, David Resnick received a lot of his political inspiration from his father.
My father was an elected official in Davenport.
After leaving Davenport and spending some time in Illinois, Resnick found his way to Dubuque.
I taught at Wahlert High School for 9 years, and then I got an opportunity to work at Clark University, and so I've been there ever since.
Over his 28 years in Dubuque, Resnick has seen what needs to be done.
Transportation, workforce, investment, sustainability, tourism, those are some of the major things that we're working on.
As a current councilman, he is looking to renew his time in office.
The city is really moving forward. I would like to keep the momentum going for Dubuque. November 8th is when we vote, and I would sure appreciate them voting for me.
The other at-large candidate, Marcos Rubenstein, is making his second consecutive run for the Dubuque City Council. 2 years ago, Rubenstein failed to unseat Rick Jones for an at-large position. Rubenstein has had a long history of political and community activism, beginning in Argentina to Los Angeles to Dubuque.
It is 563-580-5036.
City Council candidate Marcos Rubenstein wants voters to remember that number.
But I think that everyone should be able to contact their city council member.
Rubenstein is also a member of
Dubuque Peace and Justice,
a topic that hits home with Rubenstein.
I will say that peace is an important element for me, having been in Argentina during periods of very high tensions and having so many of my good friends having been disappeared and the victims of violence.
Registered voters are urged to
November the 8th, vote for Marcos.
And if you have a thought to share, Marcos says,
you know my phone number, 563-580-5036. Thank you.
For more information on each of the Dubuque City Council candidates, visit myduhawk.com. We also have a link there where you can register to vote and find out where your precinct polling location is.
That's all the time we have for you tonight, but be sure to tune in next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for Sports Zone.
Good night.